All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Instagram, Facebook friends. Hello to all my scalers and YouTube. We are here live today. Welcome back to another PE live show. Really excited today. I'm really excited to talk with you guys about should you move from a one-to-one business model into a one-to-many business model, right? And what I want to do today, I want to share with you guys some of the rookie mistakes that I made when I was making the decision to move from one-to-one into a one-to-many business model, right? So I want to share my experience, but I also want to share some of the rookie mistakes that I made, and hopefully that you guys can kind of gain some insight if you're thinking about shifting from one-to-one into one-to-many business model, or if you're thinking about offering a group program, right? I want to really give you guys some insight on some things to be thinking about before you make that decision, before you make that big leap, that shift. And so I want to share with you guys what it looked like for me when I made the shift from one-to-one into a one-to-many business model. And I want to share some of the very, very common rookie mistakes that I made when I made that shift a little bit prematurely. So I want you guys to kind of have some insight here, because if you're thinking about, if you're doing one-to-one right now, or you're trading time for money, if you are working with your clients in a one-to-one capacity, rather it be a virtual assistant, done for you, done with you, or you're coaching, right? I want you guys to have some insight on what to start thinking about if you're kind of wondering about maybe moving into like a group program, selling a more leveraged program, moving into that one-to-many business model. Or if you are a virtual assistant, you might be thinking about an agency. There's all kinds of things, right? Say hello, guys, in the comments. I love to say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And by all means, what is your weather? So I'm in Maine, and it's about 90 degrees. I would love to know where you're tuning in from and what is the weather where you are. It's a hot one here. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things as you guys begin to really think about making a shift. And for some of you, you may already be in that shift. Good morning, Tanya. You may already be in that shift. You might already be moving into a one-to-many model. You might already be selling a group program. Maybe it's not as successful or as going as well as you hoped. Or you might right now actively be thinking about it and considering that pivot, that shift. Let's talk about this a little bit. So to give a little bit of a background history here, I started one-on-one coaching about 10 years ago. Now, prior to that, I had a VA agency, okay? I shut the doors to the VA agency. I started coaching. And for about 5 or 6 years, I really stayed in a one-to-one business model. Okay. I did a one-to-one coaching package. It was a 3-month coaching package. A lot of this is going to sound very familiar to those of you who are doing one-to-one, right? I had a one-on-one coaching package. It was for 3 months. And because I was new at coaching, not new to business, just new to coaching, I started with a really low price. My price point, the investment for 3 months of coaching was $500. I'm not saying $500 a month. I'm saying just totally $500 for 3 months. It was a super, super low investment. I was just trying to get experience. I was trying to get clients and just prove concept, right? I needed proof of concept that this idea I had for coaching was actually going to work. It was going to make me money. It was going to get my clients results, right? So I made it really easy for people to sign up and say yes and work with me. So I started my 3-month coaching at $500 for the total 3 months. Okay. I continued to gradually increase the price. I went from $500 to then $1,500 to then $2,000 to $2,500 to $3,000. So I upped the scale as I was going. Hi, Instagram friends. I upped my price point in the investment as I gained more experience, as I worked with more clients, as I got more comfortable and confident, and just kind of figure things out, right? So here I am, fast forward 6 years later, I'm still in this one-to-one business model. Now, let me give you a little bit of what that looked like for me. I was maybe making $2,000 a month, okay? I did get to the point where I was upward toward $5,000 a month, but let's just be real, that was not enough to cover the bills. I was barely getting by, okay? And let me say that I was working about 80 to 90 I was working like over 80 hours a week. I was on coaching calls early in the morning before the kids woke up, late after they went to bed at night, on the weekends, evenings, all the time. If I wasn't coaching, I was on sales calls trying to get more clients. So I was basically on the phone 24/7. I didn't have weekend to myself. I didn't have a day off. I worked all through the weekends. I worked every day, all night. I was burnt out. And I still was not making enough money for us to really pay bills, pay down debt, to get ahead, right? We were like just getting by, barely. So all of this is going on, right? And here I thought, you know what? I've done one-on-one coaching long enough. I've been doing this for years. I think that the reason I'm not making more money is because I need to move into a group program. I need to move into a one-to-many business model. I need to be able to leverage so that I'm not working so hard. And so I told myself that the reason I wasn't making more money was because I was in a one-to-one model. And so my solution at that time was, I think it's time to pivot. Right? I think it's time to shift. And I think that it's time for me to move into a one-to-many business model. So my bright idea was, I'm going to create a group program. Okay. I'm going to create a group program, and this is going to be my ticket. This is going to be the answer to making more money, to working less, to all of this stuff. Right. So I went ahead after, 5-6 years of doing one-on-one, just one-on-one coaching with my clients. I had figured I earned the right to now create a group program, scale my revenue, scale my impact, all of that good stuff, right? Now, a lot of that is very true. But here's what happened. Here's where the rookie mistakes started. So I went ahead and had the idea to create the group program. Okay, I was really excited about it. I was super stoked. I couldn't wait, right? This was everything. This was the answer. And so the very next day, I jumped out of bed, I got on my computer, and I told everybody, I'm opening up a group program for the first time ever, right? And I told everybody, I've only done one-on-one coaching. I'm finally opening a group program, guys. Here's what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to be like. Come join my program. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Everyone's going to buy this. It's going to be so awesome. I'm going to double, triple my income. This is like my answer to everything. Well, 3 weeks later, after talking about the program, promoting the program, trying to sell the program, putting it everywhere, right? Doing videos. I was doing all the stuff. Crickets. I didn't have a single sale. I didn't have a single person buy my group program. And I'm like 3 weeks into this. I'm exhausted. I'm still doing my one-on-one coaching. Okay. So I still have my one-on-one clients. So just mind you, I was very, very tired. I was exhausted. I was burnt out. I had like no energy left. And now this whole self-sabotage started to kick in, because I started to feel like it's got to be me. It's got to be me, right? Because here I am 3 weeks into this, like for sure somebody would buy after 3 weeks of promoting, right? So I started having all of these internal feels and mindset blocks, and I started to self-sabotage. So here's the thing, guys. I want to now backtrack, and I want to tell you what I did wrong. Okay, because I know right now, give me an I in the comments, guys. Drop an I in the comments if you can at all relate to the story I just told you. Okay, because this is actually very, very common in this industry. We get this bright, sexy idea, and we jump the next day, and we give it everything we have, and we pour everything into it, and crickets. Nothing happens. And then we're like, why? What happened? It must be the wrong program. It must be the wrong price. I must have the wrong this and that, right? We start going like kind of down this dark path of self-sabotage of like, oh my God, it didn't sell because of me. Okay, so give me an I in the comments if you can relate to that story, if you've had that experience, or maybe you are having it right now. Maybe you feel like, oh my God, I just did that. I just launched this thing. I had this great idea and I threw it out into the world and crickets. Nothing happened, right? It's very common, actually. Almost 90% of the clients that come and work with me in my program are either going through that experience or have had that experience. Okay. And when the problem with this is, if you don't know what you did wrong, it's kind of hard to fix that and try again. Right. So you kind of find yourself in this bad cycle. Yeah. We're seeing some eyes here. And guys, feel free to drop questions as we go. I want to take a few of those. I'll have a couple minutes for questions at the end. Okay. Now let's get into the good stuff. Let's talk about all the mistakes I made. Because if you're listening, you might be thinking, yeah, but what'd you do wrong? You did one-on-one coaching for so long. You must have had success with that, right? So what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Guys, there were so many little rookie mistakes that I made that I didn't know then, but I do now. And this is where you guys might get a massive shift from this, because you might be where I was then and not know what you don't know. So here's the first couple of things. So let's go down the list. Let's talk about this. First and foremost, when you have a sexy idea, creative, brand new idea that you're really excited about, you need a plan. You do not get an idea and then just jump to the internet. Hey guys, tomorrow, today, I've opened up this new thing. Everybody buy it, right? My very first mistake is I did not sit down and create any sort of plan. I flew by the seat of my pants. I did not survey. I did not talk to my audience. I didn't even go look if there was an interest for this. I literally was just like, oh, I love it, so everybody's going to buy it. It's my bright idea. Everyone's going to buy it. So number one, I didn't even have a plan. So I didn't launch properly. This is something I see a lot of entrepreneurs do. You're not launching properly. There's no plan. There's no market research. There's no building up of anticipation to get people kind of excited and ranting and raving about it and like eager to see what this is all about. So no anticipation for your audience. You don't have a plan, right? You have no idea what you're doing. You're just like, I have an idea. I'm going to throw it out there. No market research to even see if this is something that your audience is going to buy, not just tell you sounds fantastic, but actually take out a credit card and buy it. There was no pre-anything. I literally just had the idea and I threw it out to everybody. Okay, so that was my first problem. I did not marinate on my idea a little bit and just confirm and validate that this is actually going to sell. My messaging is on point. None of that. I didn't do any of that. So guys, you need a plan. You need to sit down when you have those great ideas and you need to actually put it into a plan, and you need to validate that the people, the humans that you are going to go sell this to actually will take out a credit card and buy it. So what I want you guys to differentiate here is people being fans or loving you or loving your stuff or being super engaged does not equal buyers, right? Just because people love what you do or tell you that what you're doing is awesome or tell you that, oh my God, I would buy that, that does not mean they're actually going to when you put the offer in front of them and ask for their credit card. So the problem is you guys don't have a proper plan in place. Okay. And when I'm talking about a plan, I'm not saying sit down and write a 40-page book with all these like things. I'm talking about sitting down with your idea and figuring out, reverse engineering those goals and figuring out, mapping out how many people do I need in my audience? How am I going to make sure this is sellable? How am I going to build anticipation? What are my timelines? What are my dates? How much money do I want to make? How many sales do I want? What's the price of my offer? What does the offer structure look like? What are the benefits of it? There's so many pieces, guys, that go to a proper plan for a launch. Okay. And so that was my very first mistake. I just assumed because I loved my group program or my idea, I didn't have a program, I had an idea. I just assumed because I had an idea that I thought was awesome that my audience would just eat it right up and buy. And guys, I didn't get a single sale. So imagine putting 3 weeks every single day, all day into this so-called launch. Nothing, not a single buyer, guys, not a bit of interest. Nobody engaged. Nobody bought. Nobody got into a call with me. Nobody asked more questions about it. Nobody said, oh my God, this sounds amazing. Absolutely nothing. Just crickets. Okay. That was the mistake number one. Rookie mistake number one is you get this bright idea. You make an assumption that your audience is going to buy it and love it because you love it, and you throw it out prematurely without having a proper plan and reverse engineering your goals to validate that you have people in your audience who will take out a credit card and pay you. Okay, those are two totally different things. You can launch until the sky falls in, but if you have no money in your bank because nobody's taken out their card to buy, that's a broken system, right? So that was the first mistake that I made. The second mistake, guys, is I was not clear on my offer. I had an idea of it. But here's the thing I had. What I had were features. I knew that I wanted it to be 8 weeks. I knew that I wanted it to be modules. I wanted to have, biweekly training group calls. I knew there was going to be a Facebook group. I knew about the features. Okay. I knew about the features. However, when I went to talk about that and to sell that, nobody cared. So rookie mistake number 2 was that I was not clear. Dialed in on the experience that I wanted people to have within that space, that container, or the transformation they would get. There's 2 very, very important things. It's actually, guys, here's a little side note for you. Those are the two and only things that your buyers care about. What's the experience? What can I expect to experience here in this program? And what is my transformation? What am I going to get at the end? What do I stand to gain? What is in it for me? They do not care about any of the other things. If you don't get them to buy in on those 2 things, they need to be already bought in. Meaning, yes, I want that experience absolutely right now. And heck yeah, I want that transformation like yesterday. Sign me up. Where do I sign? If they are not bought in to those 2 things, they don't care about the features. They don't care how many sessions. They don't care if it's on Zoom or audio or where it is. They don't care about your Facebook group. They don't care that it's module focused and they get this many calls with you and this many sessions. They do not care. Those things do not trigger a buyer. Those are not the things that get people to pull out their credit card. So rookie mistake number 2 is I was not clear on those 2 very important parts of an offer. The only 2 things that your buyers care about. I had no idea. I was super broad, right? Oh, I'll help you with all the things. I was so excited about this group program that I started to put things in it that I actually wasn't experienced with. I started to add things in it that I had never done myself because I was getting so excited and I wanted it to be awesome and I wanted them to get all the things and I wanted to help all the people with all the things. I went a little crazy. I veered off what I was doing in my one-on-one and I started adding and stuffing that program with so many things. And a lot of the stuff was not things I was really good at, was not things that I was experienced with, or had some of it I had never even done in my own business. Okay. So I did have some, a little bit when I was selling the program, I did have a little bit of like imposter syndrome because I kind of felt like, can I get them results? And so I didn't talk about the results because I didn't feel confident. I didn't know what they were going to be, right? I didn't know what they were going to be. So I sold them all the sexy features that nobody cares about. Okay. So that was rookie mistake number 2, guys. Okay. If you are going to, and this applies if you're selling one-to-one, one-to-many, VIP, master, I don't care what you're selling. If you can't articulate and clearly, confidently talk about the experience your people are going to have and the transformation that they stand to gain, you're going to have a hard time selling. You're going to have a really hard time maximizing your buyers. You're going to have a hard time getting people to buy in, which means more objections, right? And in my community with my clients, we tell my clients, we don't want you to have objections. We want you to have questions. Right? Those are not the same thing. People asking you questions is a good thing. They should be asking questions. What you don't want is objections. So for those of you that are like, oh, I get so many objections, whether it's money, time, it doesn't matter, right? I got to talk to this one. I got to talk to that one. And it's not a good time. Maybe next week, maybe next month, whatever it is. If you're getting objections, it's because you have not sold your people on the transformation and experience. So when they look at your investment, they automatically check out and give you an objection because the investment is, they're looking at it as, oh my God, like it's not worth the transformation because you have not sold them on the experience and transformation first. If you can get them to buy into the experience and the transformation, if you can get them to buy into that, the price is irrelevant. Look around you. You have people that are probably your competitors, right? You have people that are probably your competitors who are selling pretty much the same thing as you, or they do similar work to you, or maybe the same thing. And they're charging 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times more than you and getting paid for that, right? Your competitors are taking your potential clients and they're closing them. And you're like, what the heck? My price is way lower. But here's the thing. The price is not the thing that gets people to buy or not buy. What gets people to make a buy-in decision is that you got them to buy in on your experience and your transformation, right? So if your people are not bought in on those two things, your price is the problem, because now all they're looking at is that investment, right? They're looking at what they have to put in, but they're not looking at what they're going to get. Give me a makes sense in the comments, guys, on Instagram, over on YouTube, guys, here in my Scalers group. Go ahead and say makes sense in the comments if you are picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, if you're getting what I'm saying, put makes sense. Go ahead and type that in the comments, because here's the thing. If your people aren't buying in on the experience and transformation, then the only thing they're really looking at is the investment. But they're saying, what do I get out of this though? And because you aren't articulating it, they're not buying from you. Instead, you're going to get an objection. Right? You're going to receive an objection instead of a question. Okay? Like, wow, this sounds fantastic. What's the investment? I'd love to have this experience. Right? So you're not going to get questions. You're going to get objections, and you're not going to get people's credit cards if you don't get them to buy in to what it is you're selling. Experience, transformation. If you can't talk about those, if you're not confident and you don't know what those look like, that's your number one problem. That was the third rookie mistake that I made. I had no idea what that was. I just knew like I was doing some sessions, like we were going to have some modules. It was going to be, a Facebook group. And I tried to sell them on that, and they could care less. They did not care about any of that stuff. They did not buy, right? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of makes sense in the comments. That's good. Okay. The next mistake that I made, guys, is that I was not dialed in. If you guys have questions, drop them in the comments. I'll have a few minutes for some questions. The fourth rookie mistake that I made is that I wasn't clear on, I wasn't dialed in on my message, my niche, right? So what happened was I was kind of saying, I was speaking to everybody that I could help them with everything. I did not niche down. I did not get specific. And I did not say who I specifically worked with and how I specifically helped them. So what happened was when I would put out marketing or content or messaging, it didn't speak to everybody the same way. Everyone that was coming into my group was not there for the same reasons, right? I bet this is something you guys can relate to if you're building a Facebook group or you're trying to grow your audience, that you have such a wide range of people that you're connecting with, right? Like you're building a group and there's so many different people. They all want different stuff. They all have a different problem. They want a different outcome. Go ahead and say me in the comments if that's you. Put a me in the comments if you feel like your audience is so wide ranged that it's so hard to create content to speak to all of them, right? So the thing that I was doing wrong is I was inviting all entrepreneurs into this one Facebook group. I was not being specific with who or what it was for. I was just inviting every entrepreneur. So I had MLMs, network marketers, coaches. I even had some real estate agents in there. I had people that taught things I had no clue about. And so I had a very hard time speaking to those people in a way that made sense for them. I had a hard time getting them to even see why my program would even be something they would consider, because I had everyone that was coming in, they all wanted a different outcome. They were there for a different reason. Everyone wanted something different. And I could not create content to support all those different people. So some of my content made sense for some people. Most of it did not make sense for everybody. Okay. So the next mistake is I did not build my audience properly. I did not build my audience properly because I wasn't clear on my message. My goal was just get the numbers, just get a ton of people in there and sell and they'll buy. I was thinking it was just a numbers game. And so I'm like, oh, this is perfect. All I got to do is get a bunch of people in the same place and I will just throw my offer right in their face and they're all going to scoop it up and buy. Okay. So that was the next problem. That was the fourth rookie mistake that I made, is that I was not niching down and being specific. So some of you might be saying, okay, so what would niching down kind of look like? And give me an example. Let me give you a couple of examples of super specific. Okay. This is going to be really helpful for you. This is going to give you something to really go home and think about. Okay. So the first one, okay, the first thing is something like this. I help you get into your wedding dress in 90 days or less. Let me say it again. I help you get into your wedding dress in 90 days or less. If there's somebody who's getting married in 6 months, 9 months, whatever, they're getting married soon, and they want to lose weight to get into their perfect, beautiful wedding dress, dream dress of their life, right? Do you think that they're going to go buy from the person that says, hey, oh my gosh, if you're getting married, I can help you lose weight. I can help you feel great. I can help you pick out that best dress. I can help you with your mindset. I'll help you meal prep, right? I'll help you figure out what you need to remove from your diet. I'll help you with an exercise routine. Or would you buy from the person that says, I will get you into your wedding dress in 90 days or less? Do you guys see the difference? I know who I'd buy from. The more specific. She's not telling you how. She's not telling you all the things you're going to have to do. She's not going down the big list of everything. She's not even telling you what's included. Do you guys see the difference? We're not even telling you what the heck the program is. We're not even telling you what's included. Instant result. I will help you get in your wedding dress in 90 days or less. That person who needs to get into that dream wedding dress is going to invest in that person over the one that's given the big novel about all the things I'm going to help you do and all the things we're going to do together and all the work you got to do, all the things included. This person over here, I will help you get into your wedding dress in 90 days or less. She's getting all the clients. Why? Because, and here's the thing, she's not even telling you about the program. She's not even telling you what you get. She's just telling you the transformation. Here's what I help you do. Done. Right? In my program, we call this the I help statement. I help you get into your wedding dress in 90 days or less. Done. Done. When I look at some of your guys' profiles, I don't even have the time to try to figure it out. Okay? Because it's not specific like that. It's not specific like that at all. Right? We're trying to give them everything. Oh, I'll help you do this and this and this and this. And oh, I can help with that. And you might feel this way. And oh, you want to get it all in there. Right? You want to stuff it all in and make sure you don't miss anything. And the problem is nobody can wrap their head around it. Less is more. Okay? So if you can come up with an I help statement, a niche that says, I help you get into your wedding dress in 90 days or less. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to steal all the buyers. Okay? Over the person over here who's writing a whole book about how she's going to help you and all the stuff you have to do and all the stuff you get and what's included. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. Less is more. Okay? Simple, guys. Simplify is the answer to success. So that was the fourth mistake I made. Okay? I just did not niche down properly and I did not get specific. I was desperate and urgent to help everybody with everything and just get a bunch of people in my program. And I wasn't clear on even how I was going to help them. I just wanted to get everybody in this program. Okay? So that was the fourth. The fifth and final, we'll leave it here and then we'll take any questions if anybody has any. The fifth and final rookie mistake that I made was that I did not run my metrics. I'm not good with numbers. I failed math miserably. But today, there's magical numbers I pay close attention to and that I know very well. But at that time, back then, I didn't run my numbers. Okay? I didn't look at my metrics. So here's another problem that I see in the industry is that we get so excited and we start launching and we start selling and we promote and we tell everybody about this thing and you don't even have an audience. Okay? Or you might have an audience and they're dead. They're just crickets. Or you might have an audience and it's all the wrong people. Or you have an audience that's unengaged because you don't show up. You're not consistent. You don't show up, right? So they're not even engaged. So when you go throwing offers in their face, they're looking at you saying, yeah, I don't think so. When was the last time you spoke to me? When was the last time you showed up? When was the last time you gave any value? You only show up when you want to sell. I see this a lot. I'm in a lot of groups, and exactly what I see, and I'm connected with a lot of people, and what I see is a lot of you show up when you want to sell something, and then you're crickets and you're quiet and you're gone. You're MIA when you're not selling. You're in and out, up and down. You're wishy-washy, and you're not consistent. You have no repetition, right? You're changing things up all the time. You're switching it up all the time. You're in, you're out, you're here, then you're gone. You're all over the place, and your audience does not trust you. Your audience is not giving you their credit card if they don't see you as a leading expert in your niche. Now, that does not mean that you need to be Gina DeVee level or Gabrielle Bernstein or Tony Robbins or Oprah Winfrey. It means that you need to be consistent. You need to have repetition, and you need to be consistent with your audience. And that is how they see you as an expert, because you're consistent. You do what you say you're going to do. You show up no matter what. And you do the things that need to get done, and you give the value. You engage, you connect with your audience. Okay. That's what makes you look like an expert to your audience. Okay. This isn't about status quo. This is about show up and get to know your audience. If you're not doing that, and then you're trying to get them to buy from you, it ain't going to happen. They're not going to do that. No one's giving you their hard-earned money if you're not giving them some of your time, if you're not giving them value. If you can't even show that you are consistent and you're an expert and you run an actual business, okay? It doesn't build trust. When you're inconsistent, you break the trust. And when you break trust with your audience, you're starting all over. And here's what I will tell you. It's 50 times harder to start over with your audience than it is to do it right from the beginning. It's 50 times harder to try to revive or make up for what you haven't done, or to get your audience back engaged, 50 times harder than just doing it right from the beginning. Okay, so that was the fifth mistake, and I see a lot of you guys doing that, is that you don't look at your numbers, you don't look at your audience, right? How many sales do you want? At what price point? And how many leads do you need to do that? What is your conversion rate? If I put 10 people in front of you right now, how many of those people will buy your offer after talking to you, right? If I gave you 10 sales calls right now, would you be able to get on those calls and close those calls? How many of them would you close? 1, 2, 5, 7, 10? How many would you close? Because again, if you're not confident in selling, if you're not confident about your offer, if you don't know how to talk about the experience and the transformation, you're probably not selling very many. So guess what that means for your metrics? You need more people, more leads than, let's say, I do, right? Because if I talk to 10 people, I'm closing 9 or 10 of those people, right? If my team talks to 10 people, they're probably closing 7 or 8 of them, right? Between 6 and 8. We know that. So what that means is we know what our numbers, we know how many leads we need to have, right? To close X amount into a specific program. Right? So if you don't know what you close, if you don't know how well you convert, or you know you don't convert well at all, you need more leads than the average bear. So if you're not even looking at your leads, okay, your numbers, number one, well, then you don't know if you even have what it takes. The other flip side of this is you might have plenty of leads that are super engaged, and you don't look at that, and you start getting more people, and you don't need more people. So now you've worked harder than you have to, and you've gone and put your time on something that you don't need to be spending your time on. It goes both ways, right? The other thing is the quality of those leads. Now, business is a numbers game, but it's not just about the numbers, right? So what that means is business is not just about, let me fill up a Facebook group, let me grow my email list, let me just get this many friends on my Facebook page or over on Instagram, right? All I need to do is build numbers. Some of you are doing that. It's a numbers thing, right? Like, oh, as long as my numbers are up there. I've worked with people who have 10,000 people on an email list, who have 20,000 people in a Facebook group, and they're broke. They're not making any money. And you might think, how the heck are they making no money with that many people? Because the quality of those leads suck. They're not the right people. They're not engaged. They haven't been nurtured. They haven't been activated. There's nothing happening. These people are just building the number, building the number, building the number. They're not doing anything. They're building up the number, pitching, building up the number, pitching, building up the number, pitching. That is a worn out strategy that doesn't work anymore, right? You have to work so hard to maintain something like that. It just doesn't even make sense, right? So I want you guys really thinking about, looking at those numbers. This is part of putting together a proper plan and reverse engineering your goals, is that you're looking at your numbers and you're asking yourself, what do I need? And you're taking that time to properly plan those things out so you can set yourself up for success, right? So that you can say, my program is this much. I convert around here. I want this many people in the program at this payment plan or pay in full, whatever it is. I have this many leads, but guess what? They're unengaged. They're the wrong people. I need a new list, or I need some new people, or I need to revive this list. Maybe you need to revive your people. Maybe they are the right people, but they're dead because you haven't taken care of them. It's always your fault. It's always on you, right? If your audience isn't doing what you want them to do, it's on you. And it is not them, it's you. Okay? You're the leader of the pack. It's up to you to build and manufacture engagement. It's up to you to set the pace of what you want your group to look like, how you want people to behave, how you want people to respond and engage. That is entirely up to you. So if you're not doing that, it's your fault you have a dead group. It's your fault you have an audience that doesn't buy or that doesn't respond or engage. Okay? So it's up to you to be doing the thing. So you need to zoom out, and you need to have a bird's eye view of what is going on in your business. What is missing? What do you need to do different? Okay. What is missing? What do you need to kind of get in place? What do you need to do to actually have a proper launch to fill a program? And here's the thing. It costs money to build out a group program. Okay. If you want it to be something you can generate recurring revenue from and actually scale, it costs money. You need team, right? I hire and I teach my clients how to hire social sellers to help them take their group programs and scale them massively. You can't do this by yourself. If anyone told you can, it's just ridiculous. You need team. You're probably going to have to up-level systems somewhere. You're going to need to get lead gen. So are you paying for ads, or are you going to hire a social seller to go out and get leads for you? How are you growing your audience? Or are you going to put your time and you're going to go grow your audience? How is that happening? How are you doing it? Because if you're launching to a dead list, guys, you're not going to get sales from that. And then you're going to think it's all the things that it's not, right? So you guys have to have proper plans. You need to have metrics. You need to look at those numbers, and then you reverse engineer those goals. If you have an audience that it's dead, you should be spending several weeks nurturing them, bringing them back to life, re-engaging. And guys, you're going to have to do the work and show up. So you've got to really look at your schedule. You got to look at where specifically does your time need to go? What specifically are you going to spend your time on so that no seconds go to waste and that you're literally setting yourself up for success? Okay. Those are the 5 rookie mistakes I made, you guys. And I did not look into any of this stuff. I just I have an idea and I threw it out there. Your one-on-one program, let me tell you what your one-on-one program is going to help you do as it pertains to moving into a one-to-many business model and selling out a group program recurring with massive success. Your one-on-one program gives you experience. It gives you experience talking about your offer, talking about the experience, talking about the transformation, really dialing in your message, right? Some of you are not doing that. And that's the biggest problem. It's your message. It's your messaging. It's the way you talk about it. It's the positioning of how you talk about your program. You just don't know how to talk about it right. And so it's not a solution for people. It's not an urgency for people. So that's one thing, right? So you really need to use your one-on-one to help you dial in your message, help you learn how to confidently, consistently talk about your program, the experience, the transformation, who it's for, why should they invest in your program over somebody else's program. You need to get good at talking about that. But here's the thing. That's not a training. That's experience. So you're going to get that that experience through doing it, through having sales conversations, through showing up, going live like this and talking about it, through getting into your Facebook group and having conversations with people and learning how to talk about it. You need to go apply it. You need to go practice, right? You're not going to learn this in a book, guys. You're not going to learn how to be good sellers from reading a book or joining a course. It's through experience. Okay? Sales is not a strategy, it's a skill set. You learn it through practice. So you need to use your one-on-ones, guys, to get that practice. Okay? If you can't sell your one-to-one, you're not going to sell your group program either, because it's not the program, it's not the prices. It's that you don't know how to talk about them. You don't know how to sell. So you have to get that down. Okay. The other thing that one-on-one is really good for is it builds up fast money. You know, one-on-one's a high ticket and really easy to sell. You don't need a lot of a big audience. You don't need a big list. You don't need to talk to a ton of people. You don't need a sales page. You don't need a website. You don't need anything. You need to know how to talk about it. And then you need to go get in conversations and practice, right? You fill your one-on-one and now you have some high ticket income to help you fund setting yourself up for a really successful group launch program. Right? A group program launch. It's also going to help you build a system. So a lot of people ask me, Anne, you have your profitable entrepreneur program. How did you build out your levels? Because we have a curriculum. We have a curriculum for newbies, curriculum for scalers, and a curriculum for those building their team of social sellers, profit drivers. That's 3 levels. And that's typical in any business. Okay. And so what we have a lot of questions of how the heck did you build out those different levels in those curriculums? Through one-on-ones. That's where I discovered them, through working privately with one-on-one clients and just customizing what they needed, learning what had to happen to get them results, and then documenting that, right? Every time my client would get a result, I documented what we did. And I took out what they didn't need or what they didn't use, and I simplified it. And I kept doing that with every single client until I had a system, a documented system for 1, 2, 3. Here's what you need to do to hit this goal right here. 1, 2, and 3. And here's surprisingly, it's like the same things in all the levels. It's very simple. As you grow and you make more money and you get more clients and you move from one-to-one to one-to-many, you actually don't work harder. Not much changes in the sense of your programs. It's just your mindset and your messaging has to pivot, right? And your audience has to pivot a little bit. Your programs don't. Your effort actually does not get larger. I work less as I scale than when I did one-on-one coaching. I worked way more, right? It's because you guys think that, to make more money and work with more clients, that means more work, more effort, more time. No, that's actually not true. That's not true at all. So a lot of what I do with my clients when they were newbies is a lot of what I do with them when they're scaling beyond multiple 6 figures and when they're building a team of profit drivers. Things are very similar in terms of your effort, your action steps, money-making activities, the core focuses, the pillars, which is my Simplify the Scale method. My Simplify the Scale method is what I do when I take you through those levels. And we gradually move you over a few years into where you have a team of profit drivers and you're not even having to do anything in your business for the most part. Right? You're a leader, you're leading your team and you're CEO. Driving the vision, leading your team, and you're the face of the company. Right? You have profit drivers doing your sales, doing your lead gen, doing your marketing, doing your client onboarding, all that stuff. Okay? So again, you guys need that one-on-one practice to build out those systems, to build out that clarity, to really get to know on a deeper level who your clients are. What do they really want? What language do they use? What gets them to pull out their credit card? What are things that they consider urgency over something else, right? You need that practice, okay? You need that practice. So I really recommend for a lot of you guys, if you are not making $10K a month every single month, rinse, repeat in your sleep consistently, I do not think it's a good idea to try to create a group program, because if you're not making consistent revenue, you have broken systems. That's what that means. It means that somewhere in the things that you're doing, something is not working. Something is broke, or something is missing, or you're doing some of the wrong things. There is a broken set of systems. Okay. And with a broken set of systems, regardless of what it is, and you just take those broken systems and put them into a group program, you have the same problem. Do you guys understand? You have the same exact problem. You can't take a broken system from one-on-one and put it into a group program and say, there, that's gonna be the ticket. That's gonna work the same way it just did in your one-on-one. Just like for those of you who don't know how to go out and generate new leads organically, you're probably not going to generate them with Facebook ads either, because it has nothing to do with you. It's your messaging, it's your marketing, it's your content. You don't know how to talk about things. And that's why whatever you're doing for free that doesn't work is not going to work in a funnel or paid ads. You got to be able to sell and get success with what you're doing for free before you put it into something leveraged, before you put it into something paid. Okay? Before you can take something and hand it over to ads or funnels or a team member, you need to get it working. Okay? This is called broken systems. And this is 9 out of 10 of the reasons that I see entrepreneurs fall flat on their face with their launches, with their group programs, or with even their one-on-ones, is you don't have your system house in order. And you think there's this other little thing that you can do that's going to be the magic answer. But the fact is, if you don't have a lead gen system, if you don't have a nurture activation system, if you do not have a proper sales system, if you do not have sales confidence, right? If you don't have a super irresistible offer that you know how to talk about with the experience and transformation, if you don't have your message dialed in and your niche, right? And if you do not know how to grow your audience and activate them as buyers, then guys, you have a broken system, right? What happens when you do get a client? Do you have an onboarding system? When you're having sales consultations, do you have a qualification system? This is what's happening, guys. You don't have your system house in order. And what you do is you go from course to course to course to course, to freebie to freebie to freebie, to challenge and workshop and webinar, and to funnels to ads, to, downloading this one's freebie and watching this one's Facebook Live and joining the next free workshop and free, or I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing that hasn't worked for 5 years. When you guys are doing that, you're searching for this big secret. You think there's like a secret, or, oh, this person must know something I don't because they're getting success with this. Let me go try their way. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Let me try this one's way because they're having such good success with this. It's probably that. Let me try their way. Oh, that didn't work for me. Let me try this. And that's what you guys are doing. You're pulling at these straws. You don't know what you're doing, and you're grasping for like this next big secret that some entrepreneur must know that they're not telling you. And the problem is none of those things. In fact, you probably have quite a bit in place, and you probably don't need to know a whole lot more. It's that your system house is not in order. You have broken systems and processes. And so you don't know when you wake up today, how am I getting new leads today? How am I generating new sales conversations today? Do I have any sales conversations today? Am I even set up to get one sale this week? Do I even know what my offer is? Do I know what my messaging and my niche is? Right? For some of you that are wanting to scale, okay, do I know what this group program looks like? Do I have my launch goals planned out? Do I have my metrics honed in, dialed in? Do I know exactly what I need day to day? Do I have team on board ready to rock and roll? Do I have all these pieces and elements in place? 9 out of 10 of you, the answer is no. It's no. And for a lot of you, it's like, I don't even know what that should look like. Okay, so until you get these system houses in order, guys, for your business, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to really, really struggle to stand out in a very crowded industry. You're going to have a very hard time getting people to pull out their card, and you're going to get a lot of objections. And a lot of it has nothing to do with your price, has nothing to do with you specifically. It's that you just don't have your systems in order. And so you're floundering, you're flying by the seat of your pants, you're just winging it, you're just doing random stuff. Okay, let's do a couple minutes. I could take a couple questions. If you have questions, guys, I see you on Instagram, and I see you over here on Facebook. So if you have a couple of questions, throw them in. I'm going to start to go through some of these. I'll see what we've got over here, and I'll try to answer some of these questions. If I miss anything, just drop it down in the comments again, and I'll do my best to make sure I don't miss them. And real quickly, while you guys are getting your questions in there about one-to-one, one-to-many, and whatever we covered today that your burning desire is that you'd like to know, pop those questions below. And while you guys are doing that, I want to give you guys a quick announcement that we are opening up some space to work with just a few people who are really wanting to get these systems that we're talking about in order. You're kind of over the whole like downloading freebies and taking the workshops and watching the webinars and courses and funnels, and you're really just wanting to get these systems, the system house in order, so you have this nice well-oiled machine running. And your ideal goal is to get yourself to that multiple six figures this year and be able to start building a team of social sellers, profit drivers, who start taking those systems over for you, and they take them over and you don't have to do it anymore, right? And for those of you that really want to get those in order and you really want to stop kind of investing in random things or free stuff or just webinar and course and challenge and all of that, you're really committed and ready. My community manager, Amanda Newman, is on standby, and she's available to speak to just a few of you guys who are really feeling like, I'm sort of like done with trying to figure this out. I need to figure this out. I need my systems in order. I need a team. I need people to help me get leads. I need people to help me close these sales. I need to build my sales confidence. I need to know what the heck I need in place for my offers. I need to dial in my niche, my messaging, whatever it is that we've talked about here today. If what we have covered here today is totally speaking to you, and you're actually ready to make an investment to get that support to put these things in place starting like today, if you guys are ready for that, go ahead and type scale. Go ahead and type scale in the comments. And what's going to happen is Amanda Newman, our community manager, our concierge specialist, is going to private message you on Facebook. And she's going to do about a 10 or 15 minute call with you where we're going to ask you some questions. Your credit card isn't getting you in the door, guys. Okay. This is a very hybrid level, very customized program. We are like hands in your business, walking you through these systems, helping you to customize this. It's very high level. You got to be ready to do the work. You got to be ready to hire a team. You got to be ready to start doing stuff. Okay. Not saying you need to hire a team right now, but I'm saying you need to be prepared that that's where we're moving you to. And you need to be all in. You need to be thinking about 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 2 years from now. Okay. Not just today. I want you to go ahead and type scale in the comments. She will privately message you and reach out. We're going to ask you some qualifying questions and see, are you a fit for this program? So are you a fit to start putting these systems in place and doing the work and making it happen? And am I actually able to help you? Okay. Sometimes we talk to you guys and it's like, you're just not, for whatever reason, at the place where we can really help you. We're not signing you on. We're not letting anybody through the door that we don't know for sure that I can absolutely help you make money, get these systems in order, and actually see ROI. Okay. So you have to be ready, guys. You have to be all in. You can be scared. This can sound scary and all the things, but you have to be all in no matter what. Okay. And this can be the game-changing program for you, okay? But we only work with the right people. So go ahead and type scale in the comments if you would like Amanda Newman, our community manager, to reach out to you. See if you qualify. Make sure that for certain I can help you and that you're totally ready to do this. It'll be about a 10 or 15-minute chat. If you are, we'll get you signed up. We'll talk about the program. We'll get you signed up. If it's not a great fit right now, we're going to give you some free resources to help you out, to get you to a place where the program would be the perfect match for you. Okay. So this isn't an aggressive, high-pitched type of thing, but definitely don't ask to be reached out to. If you know you're not making any investments right now, if you know that you're not mentally, emotionally in a place where you can focus on your business and focus on getting clients and scaling and actually getting an ROI. Okay. So you do got to be ready, guys. Okay. You got to be responsible for that. All right. Let's do some cues. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Is metrics for pricing? So metrics are not just for pricing. No, metrics and pricing have nothing to do with each other. So when we price our programs, we price it based on two things: the experience they're going to have and the transformation they're going to get. That's it. That's how we price our program. And that's also how we package and structure. Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? How long is it going to be? The container. We decide on experience that we want them to have and the transformation they're going to get. How long of a time do we need together to get that transformation? Pricing is based on that. Okay. Metrics are the numbers like how many leads do I need? And what are the quality of those leads? How many sales calls do I need to have? How many people do I want in my program? How well do I convert? So what is my conversion rate? If I talk to 10 people today, how many of those would I confidently close? You need to know those. That's your metrics. Okay, what is your conversion rate? Well, I don't do sales anymore. I have a sales team. Which is what I help all my clients do, is get a sales team, because if you are the person that has to always do the sales, you'll never scale. You will never scale. You'll never have a life if all the sales rely on you. I do not close sales. But when I did, before my team, if I spoke to 10 people, I'd close anywhere between 8 and 10. I have an extremely high conversion rate because sales is my specialty. Okay. I don't have any stuff around sales. Sales is the thing I've done my whole life, better than anything. So I close much higher than the average bear. Let's see. I'm just seeing if we have any other questions. I don't think we had any other questions. I don't know. I hope I didn't miss any. If I missed any of your guys' questions, just drop them below. We have people tuning in from Nigeria. That's awesome. Tanya said, no pre anything sounds like me. Yeah, so Tanya, you're in our program, so we're going to help you with that. Don't worry about that. You're going through level 1 right now, so you're in good hands. You're going to be all set. Okay, just checking one last time here, make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay, we got you guys are the best. Love it. Yay. Awesome. All right, so hopefully this has been insightful. What I would recommend is you go back and listen to this again, and you write those 5 things down, and you start to look into your own business, look into your own systems. Where are you at? Where are you at with these? What are you missing? What do you maybe need to do better? What needs to improve? What can you maybe take out that maybe you're throwing in there that just isn't necessary? Where's your time being spent? Do you have your metrics dialed in? Do you have your message dialed in, your offers, your systems, things like that? Okay, that would be my recommendation from you guys today, your exercise from today's session. I would go off and do that, because if you're just listening to this and it's just another thing that you're listening to, guys, there's really no progress being made, right? You want to take that action. You want to go and assess what things look like and what you need in your own business so that you can actually move forward. Okay. And for those replayers, guys, tune in. Let us know what questions you have. Type scale in the comments below if you would like to be reached out to by our team and see if working with us is a great fit for you. I'll see you guys next week on our next weekly live show. Bye, guys.